Mahatsevam dwaram ahur vimuktes tamodwaram yoshitam sangi sangam. Mahatsevam, by the service to the Mahatmas, the doors of liberation get opened. Tamodwaram yoshitam sangi sangam. By service to the sense objects or the people attached to sense objects, the doors to hell get opened. Mahat Sevam, here the Mahat means the service of the Mahatmas. The translation, the Prabhupada says that one can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to the highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. He's saying Mahat refers to impersonalists and devotees, Jnana yogis and Bhakti yogis. So sometimes a devotee becomes very much too much negative towards the Jnana yogi. Only not become too much negative because the impersonalists, they are also called as Mahat. Because by serving those Mahats, one will get the Kaivalya Mukti, Sayujya Mukti. But they are also Mahatmas. They are also great souls. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave great respect to the Prakashananda Saraswati because they were following the Vedic tradition strictly. So
even Sarvabhauma
Sarvam
Bhattacharya.
Bhattacharya.
And also, Prabhu, we see that Prithu Maharaj also gave great respect to four Kumaras when they arrived.
Four Kumaras were Vaishnavas. After this incident of Jaya Vijay, before that they were impersonalists, but this incident transformed them from impersonalist to become a personalist. So when the four Kumaras came to meet Prithu Maharaj, that time they were the Vaishnavas.
Okay.
So although they are Vaishnavas, the four Kumaras were given in charge of the path of Jnana Marga. So Brahma had many sons. Brahma's son Narada Muni is actually propagating Bhakti Marga. And Brahma's son four Kumaras were given the charge of propagating the Jnana Marga. And Brahma's son Daksha Prajapati was actually propagating the Karma Kanda Marga. The Karma Marga, Jnana Marga, Bhakti Marga, all are given in the Shastra. Bhakti is the direct way of attaining the Supreme Lord. But there are people who are not qualified for Bhakti. For them, the Karma Marga is also given, Jnana Marga is also given for those who want to attain Kaivalya Mukti, Sayujya Mukti. But four Kumaras, apart from propagating Jnana Marga, after they became Vaishnavas, they became the inaugurators of the Kumara Vaishnava Sampradaya. So that they did in addition to that. Just like Lord Shiva is official duties, pralaya, destruction. But Lord Shiva, apart from that, he also elevates the most fallen souls. He started the Rudra Sampradaya. So that role he does on his own. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And they were Shakti Avesha Avatar also.
Yeah. So we'll begin today's class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। We'll continue this 79th anuccheda. This anuccheda is a long one. In this, essentially, the 14 shlokas, 13 or 14 shlokas of the third canto, 15th chapter, the last 13, 14 shlokas, are discussed by the Jiva Goswami in great detail. So the threefold spiritual manifestation, Tripad Vibhuti, that is part of the internal potency of the Lord. That is the topic of the Anuccheda. So we'll begin with the shloka. Kritsna prasada sumukam sprihaniya dama sneha valoka kalaya kridi samsprishantam shyame pruta urasi shobitaya shriyasvash chudamanim subhagayantamivātmadishnyam. Krishna Prasada Sumukam. To the Supreme Lord, he was smiling benevolently on everyone. He was smiling benevolently on everyone. Sprihaniya Dama. Dama means abode. Sprihaniya Dama means the Lord who is the abode of complete desirability. Spriha, it comes to desire. Sprihaniya means the Lord who is the abode of complete desirability. That Lord was smiling benevolently upon everyone. Krishna means what? Krishna here refers to, Krishna means all. That means it refers to both. Lord is smiling both upon the Kumaras as well as the doorkeeper, Jay and Vijay. Krishna Prasada Sumukam. And that Supreme Lord, Hridi Samsprishantam. He touched the hearts of everyone. Sprishati means a touching. Hridi Samsprishantam. He touched the hearts of everyone. Sneha Avaloka Kalaya. Avaloka means glancing. Glance can be of any types. Even an angry glance can be also be in the mood of anger. But here, Sneha Avaloka, with his glances of affection. Sneha Avaloka Kalaya. With that glance, he was actually touching the hearts of everyone. Shyame Pruta Urasi Shobitaya Shriya. Shriya here refers to the goddess of fortune. So by the presence of the goddess of fortune, Urasi, Pruta Urasi. Urasi means the chest. Pruta Urasi means on the broad chest. And what the color of the chest? Shyame. On his broad, black, Shobitaya, beautiful chest. Sun is broad, black. Purta means broad. Shyama is the black. And beautiful chest. The Lakshmi Devi is situated as a Srivatsa and his broad, beautiful chest. So by the presence of the goddess of fortune, Shriya Swachudamanim Subhagayantam Ivatma Dishnyam. Chudamanim Subhagayantam Iva Atma Dishnyam. Because of the word Iva, Iva means as if it appeared. It appeared as though the Lord was radiating his well-being. Subhagayantam. Subhagayantam. Subhagayantam iva atma dishtyam. It appeared as if that by the presence of the goddess of fortune, it appeared as though he were radiating well-being throughout his abode. Iva atma dishtyam. Atma dishtyam refers to his abode. Throughout his own abode, which is the Chudamanim, Swachudamanim, which is the crest jewel of all the heavens. So by the presence of the goddess of fortune, on his broad black chest, black beautiful chest, it appeared as though Lord was radiating his well-being. Subhagayantam, throughout his own abode, Atma Dishnyam. What is the nature of that abode? Swachudamanim. So Atma Dishnyam is in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Swachudamanim is also in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Therefore, the Swachudamanim is the Visheshana, adjective for the Atma Dishnyam. The Visheshana will have the same Vibhakti as the Visheshya, usually. And then Jiva Goswami is explaining the shloka. Kritsna Prasada iti Kritsnasya. Kritsnasya means on everyone. The word Kritsna comes in other places in the Bhagavatam also. Where else it comes? The Bhagavatam. Many place shlokas it comes. Kritsna with. Karmani akarma ya pashet akarmani cha karma ya sa buddhiman manusheshu sayukta kritsna karma krit. Kritsna karma krit means engaged in all activities. So that person, one who sees inaction and action, action and inaction, is intelligent among men and is in a transcendental position, although is engaged in all sorts of activities. Kritsna karma krit means all sorts of activities. So Kritsna means all. So Kritsna prasada iti Kritsnasya dwarapala munivrindasya prasade sumukam iti. That means the Kritsnasya refers to both the gatekeepers and the four Kumaras. So Lord is actually pleased with both of them. He's bestowing his glance on all of them. Sprihaniyanam gunanam dama sthanamiti cha tattat gunanam tadrishatvam darshitam. So the phrase Sprihaniya dama means the abode of complete desirability, means that he is the ground and reservoir of all the desirable attributes. Tattat gunanam tadrishatvam darshitam. The Lord is the ground and the reservoir of all the desirable attributes. Whatever we desire in this world, everything is present in the Lord. That is why, for example, when Narada Muni got darshan of the Lord, he was meditating. So Prabhupada says that whatever beauty we desire to see in this world, the Lord is the abode of all the beauties, is a reservoir of all the beauties. So what a person is searching, desiring life after life, everything is present in the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Sprihaniya Dhamma means The Lord is the ground and the reservoir of all the desirable attributes. And tattat gunanam tadrishatvam darshitam. This shows that these attributes are also of the same transcendental nature as that of the Supreme Lord. And snehava iti vilasasya. The glances of affection indicate that his actions are also transcendental. Vilasa means vilasa word is also used for leela, transcendental. His glances of affection are also transcendental. Swaha sukha bhoga sthanani nitya ananta ananda rupatvat. Swaha sukha bhoga sthanani nitya ananta ananda rupatvat tesham chudamanim. Tesham chudamanim atmadishyam swaswa rupasthanam Sri Vaikuntham. So the word swaha refers to Swarga, heaven. But here the word swaha refers to Sukha Bhoga Sthanam, the places of enjoyment. But Vaikuntha is called as the Chudamanim, crest jewel. Among all the places of enjoyment, why? Nitya Ananta Ananda Rupatvat. Because in the Vaikuntha, there is a eternal, unlimited bliss is present. Nitya Ananta Ananda Rupatva. In the Swargaloka, there is no eternal happiness. There is no unlimited happiness. But in Vaikuntha, there is eternal and unlimited happiness. Therefore, Vaikuntha is considered as the Chudamanim, crest jewel among all the places of enjoyment. So, Swaswa Rupasthanam Sri Vaikuntham. So, by referring to it as his own abode, Atma Dishyam, it indicates that Vaikuntha is the locus of his own essential nature. Swaswa Rupasthanam. Because Lord has mentioned that Atma Dishyam, his own abode. Therefore, Vaikuntha is the locus of his Swarupa, of his own essential nature. And then further he says, Tadrishe api urasi shobitaya reka rupaya shriya. Reka means line. Lakshmi Devi is present as a hair in the chest of the Supreme Lord. Tadrishu api urasi shobitaya reka rupaya shriya krutva subhagayantam iva tatra bhushana vishesham nidadanam iva iti vakyalankare. So there is whenever the word iva comes, iva indicates utpreksha alankara. Taya vilasiteshveshu, Bhagavatam 1st canto 2nd chapter. Taya vilasiteshveshu guneshu gunavaniva. Guneshu gunavaniva. So the Lord, as Paramatma, because he is situated within the body, it appears as if that he is affected by the three gunas. But actually he is transcendental. He is transcendental. So therefore the word Iva is used many times for the Alankara, Utpreksha Alankara. So by the beauty of Sri, who manifests as a lion on his chest, Reka Rupaya Shriya. So even though such a mark is simply another feature of his abode, being of the same identical nature, but the Supreme Lord, by the mark of Sri on his chest, he was rendering even the supreme abode auspicious. Subhagayantam iva tatra bhushana vishesham nidadanam iva. So he was rendering the supreme abode even more auspicious. as though decorating the abode with the ornament of Shri. As though decorating it with an ornament. So therefore, Eva is used as a figure of speech, Alankara. Anena Shri Vaikuntasya Nityatvam Sarvodkrishtatvam. So this confirms that Vaikunta is of the nature of condensed eternality, consciousness and bliss. Shri Vaikuntasya Nityatvam Sarvodkrishtatvam. Uktam cha. This was also explained in the previous chapter. The previous chapter is referring to the shloka 3.15.26. There it was mentioned that the four Kumaras became extremely elated upon seeing Vaikuntha. That Tad Vishwaguru Apu Param Mudam. So Vaikuntha is of the nature of Satchitananda. It was also explained previously that they were extremely elated upon seeing Vaikuntha. And also in the next chapter, Ityado Apu Param Mudam Ityadi, in the Vakshyate, in the next chapter, that is 3. Small mistake, 16 it should be. 3.16.27.28. 3.16.27.28 also it will be explained. Atate munayo drishtva nayanananda bhajanam vaikuntam tad adhishtanam vikuntam cha swayam prabham bhagavantam parikramya pranipatyanu manya cha pratijagmuk pramudita shamsanto vaishnavim shriyam. Atate munayah drishtva. Drishtva means after seeing. After seeing the Vaikuntam tad adhishtanam vikuntam cha swayam prabham. After seeing the swayam prabham Vaikunta. Swayam prabham means self-luminous. After seeing the self-luminous Vaikunta, which is Nayana Ananda Bhajanam. Nayana Ananda Bhajanam, which is the pleasure of the pleasure for the eyes. The pleasure of the eyes. Tad adhishtanam, and is abode Vaikunta. What did the sages do? Bhagavantam parikramya. The sages circumambulated the Lord. And then pranipatya anumanyacha. They offered obeisances to the Supreme Lord. Pranipatya anumanyacha. That means they took his permission to leave that abode. Pratijagmuhu pramudita. Pramudita shamsanto vaishnavim shriyam. And then feeling pramudita, delight in their hearts, they left the Vaikunta planet. Vaishnavim shriyam pratijagmuhu. They left the Vaikunta planet shamsantaha, while glorifying the Vaikunta abode, while eulogizing its transcendental magnificence. So this shloka is also quoted to show that this shloka also confirms that the Vaikunta is of Satchitananda. So let's go through the purport. I almost explained the shloka. So Jiva Goswami says that the Lord was pleased on seeing both the Kumaras and the gatekeepers. So therefore, Sumukam, therefore he looked at everyone with an enchanting vision. So Jiva Goswami said that the Kumaras were completely satisfied on seeing the Lord. But Jay and Vijay were not feeling so much content because they felt that they committed the offense. And the Lord also will tell in the beginning of the next chapter, 16th chapter, these attendants of mine have committed a great offense against you due to ignoring me. So the Jay and Vijay felt that we have committed an offense. Four Kumaras were completely content, but Jay and Vijay were not so content because they felt somewhat guilty. So Vishwanath Chakravarti also supports this alternative line of interpretation. So when the Kumaras saw the Lord approaching in all his majesty, they were at first submerged in an ocean of doubt. So initially, the Kumaras, they were feeling that, oh, we have cursed the Lord's associates. So therefore, they were actually confused. Is the Lord pleased with us or not? Is the Lord upset with us or pleased with us? But by the phrase Prasada Sumukam, Krishna Prasada Sumukam, being merciful to all, their doubt was removed when they saw the glance of the Lord. So the Lord was bestowing his mercy upon everyone. But apparently it looked that he was not bestowing his mercy upon the gatekeepers, but actually he was bestowing his mercy upon Jaya Vijay also. So although explicitly the Lord's mercy did not glance upon Jaya Vijay, but internally the Lord is definitely pleased with Jaya Vijay. Because later Lord will mention that do not fear, may you attain peace. Although I am capable of retracting the Brahmana's curse, I do not wish to do so. On the contrary, I approve of it. So, because the Lord told that, don't worry, that may be peace with you. So, the verse under discussion further states that the Lord touched everyone's heart by his merciful glances. So, he blessed everyone. So, this also shows that the Lord's glance is transcendental. Otherwise, it could not have touched the heart of the Kumaras. The Kumaras were already in the Brahman realized platform. They cannot be touched by any kind of material exchange. But their heart was also touched. That means the Lord's glance is transcendental. Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgranta Api Urukrame. Kurvantya Hetukim Bhaktim. Even the Atma Ramas, they get attracted by the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So the Kumaras were fixed in Brahman realization. So Jay and Vijay were feeling morose because they felt that we are going to be separated from the Lord. And understanding their feelings, the Lord also affectionately glanced at Jay and Vijay also, and he also touched their hearts also. So in this way, the Kumaras received the glimpse of the Lord's wonderful character by witnessing him extend his mercy to them. Although they had cursed his confidential associates. So on the other hand, they had been unable to tolerate even a little disturbance. So thus the Lord is called as Sprihaniya Dhamma, the abode of all desirable qualities. So the Sprihaniya Dhamma also indicates that the Kumaras lacked such qualities. Even though they were perfect beings situated in Brahmananda. Further, it is said that since it is the duty of the gatekeepers to stop the visitors and inquire about their purpose, the Kumaras, in one sense, they had no real reason to be upset with them. So Jay and Vijay were performing their duty. So nonetheless, the Lord was far from being upset with the Kumaras for their prideful act, and was even very respectful and merciful to them. And this is only evident from Lord's words to the four Kumaras in the 16th chapter. The 16th chapter beginning, the way Vishnu speaks to four Kumaras with great respect. It shows that the Lord was not displeased with the four Kumaras. So even the Lord goes to the extent of saying that I have acquired the qualities by serving the sages, Brahmanas like them. In this way, the Kumaras directly experience the benign nature of the Lord. And the second half of the shloka of this verse and the two that follow describe the beauty of the Lord's form. So by the presence of the goddess of fortune, the Lord was making the abode even more auspicious. So Bhagavan appeared like an abode of fortune. And with the golden mark of Lakshmi above the left breast on his broad black chest, Vaikuntha is the crest jewel of all the planets. But the Lord appeared like a transcendental ornament that beautified even Vaikuntha. Thus it is understood that the Kumaras realized the sweetness of the Lord's mercy and his personal beauty. So here, so by the presence of Lakshmi Devi, he was decorating the Vaikuntha abode even more. Or by his presence, he was increasing the glory of Vaikuntha even more. So the Lord became the ornament of the Vaikuntha. So next shloka. Next, the short one will take. पीतांशुके पृथुनितं विनिविस्फुरन्त्या काञ्च्यालिभिर्विरुतया वनमालया च वल्गुप्रकोष्ठवलयं विनता सुतांसे विन्यस्तहस्तमितरेण दुणानमब्जम्. Somebody can read the translation. He was adorned with a
Anyone wants to read? Okay. He was adorned with the girdle that shone brightly over the yellow cloth, covering his broad hips, and he wore a garland of fresh flowers that resonated with the humming of the bees. His lovely wrists were graced with bracelets. One of his hands rested on Garuda's shoulder, and in the other he twirled a lotus. In this verse, the use of the instrumental case for the words Kanchya and Vanamalaya is to show that the Lord is recognizable by these features.
पीतांशुके इति काञ्च्या वनमालया च इत्यत्र इत्थं भूतलक्षणे तृतीया. So the Lord was having a kanchya. Kanchya means a girdle. He was adorned with a girdle that was shone brightly over his pitambara dhoti, over the yellow cloth. Pitamshuke. And that pitambara dhoti was covering his broad hips. Prutu nitambini vispurantya. So you see that pitambara dhoti was covering his broad hips. And on top of the pitambara dhoti, there is a girdle. And then on top of that, the Lord was having a garland of forest flowers. The forest flowers was on top of the girdle. And then surrounding that garland, there is the humming bees were there. And they were resonating with they were making a humming sound. And then Lord was having a Valgu Prakoshta Valayam. He was having a nice bracelet. And Vinata Sutamse, Vinata Suta refers to the son of Vinata, that is Garuda. Vinata Sutamse Vinyasta Hastamitarena Dunanam Abjam. So the Lord has kept one of his hands, he was resting on the shoulder of Garuda. I think left shoulder. And another shoulder, he was just twirling a lotus. Vinyasta hasta mitarena dunanam abjam. So, so here we see that So the Lord was having a fine pitambara dhoti on his broad hips. He was covered by a beautiful belt and wore a garland of flowers around his neck. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu commentary, Durgama Sangamani Tika, the garland that hangs all the way down to one's feet is called Vanamala. Vanamala specifically refers to that garland which goes almost up to the feet of a person. The bumblebees were buzzing around the Lord's garland, making it appear to resonate. So the Lord's dhoti considered his hips to be her exclusive dominion. And the belt imposed her supremacy over the dhoti. And the Vanamala imposed its supremacy over the girdle. And the humming bees considered the Vanamala to be their property. So it appeared that the Lord had awarded the supremacy to the bumblebees. That Lord has awarded supremacy to us over the Vanamala. Vanamala was having supremacy over the girdle, and the girdle was having supremacy over the Pitambara dhoti, and the Pitambara dhoti was having its supremacy over the Lord's hips. Therefore, the bumblebees were so happy, and the bumblebees were humming in jubilation. And Jiva Goswami says that Kanchya and Vanamalaya, they are used in the Tritiya Vibhakti. Tritiya Vibhakti is for Karana Karaka, for instrumental case. So, why they are used in the instrumental case? To show that they were characteristic features of the Bhagavan. So, there is a Paniniya Sutra, which Sutra 2.3.21, Karaka Prakarana, Ittam Bhuta Lakshane. Ittam Bhuta Lakshane. 2.3.21. I'll show you the Sutra. Ittam Bhuta Lakshane. Any mark or attribute by which is indicated the existence of a particular state or condition is put in the Tritiya Vibhakti, third case, to express this relation. Kachit prakaram prapta ittam bhutah tasya lakshanam ittam bhuta lakshanam. So, according to this one, so the Kanchya and Vanamalaya are used in the Tritiya Vibhakti to show that they are the characteristic features of the Bhagavan.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. There was one more example in what you read in the instrumental case, the ascetic. Can you read that out, please? Just now what you showed, this instrumental case.
Kanchya and Vanamalaya.
No. Right now you showed something, no?
That is the Panini Sutra.
Yeah. So there was, there's one example over here. The ascetic, what was it? He's an ascetic.
That's an example. Okay.
By
Jatabis tapasaha. Tapasaha refers to an ascetic. He's an ascetic because by the matted hair. Jata is the matted hair. That matted hair is a characteristics of a ascetic. So Jatabihi is used in the Tritiya Vibhakti. Tapasaka refers to the ascetic. An example for that. Jatabis Tapasaha. He is an ascetic by the fact that he is having a matted hair. Because of the matted hair, by the matted hair, that matted hair is acting as a lakshana or the characteristic feature for the ascetic. So similarly, Kanchya and Vanamalaya are used in the instrumental case to show that they are characteristic features of Bhagavan. So according to Sridhar Swami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, however, it could also be an indication that this verse is grammatically connected to the previous one, where it was said that the Lord beautified Vaikuntha with the mark of Shri on his chest. So previously, in the previous shloka, it was mentioned that the Lord was increasing the beauty of Vaikuntha by the mark of Shri. The word Shriya was used in the Tritiya Vibhakti. So here also Kanchi and Vanamalaya, they are also in Tritiya Vibhakti. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Sridhar Swami says that it's also grammatically connected to the previous shloka. The implication is that this beautification of Vaikuntha is similarly conducted by all these other divine features of his appearance. So Vaikuntha is getting beautified not only by the presence of Lakshmi on his chest, but Vaikuntha is also getting beautified by this girdle on his hip, on his dhoti, by his Vanamala, by the Vanamala which the Lord was wearing. Therefore, in that way also, this is another explanation. And the Lord rested on his left hand, rested his left hand on the shoulder of Garuda, and he was playfully twirling the lotus flower. So Vishwanath Chakravarti in his Bhagavatam commentary, he says that why the Lord was twirling was that the Lord was trying to bring the attention of the four Kumaras away from Brahmananda. He was drawing the Kumaras' hearts away from Brahmananda. As if the Lord was joking with them and saying, oh, you have already previously concluded that my Nirguna Brahma is the supreme reality. But then why then have you now become so unsettled? So the Lord was jokingly trying to agitate them. So please remain fixed in Brahman realization only. Don't get agitated. In that way, he was giving a message by twirling the flower. So one more shloka with this will end. They're very small. Next is 3.15.41. 42. Sorry, 41. Vidyut Kshipan Makara Kundala Mandanarha Gandastalonna Samukam Manimat Kiritam Dordanda Shanda Vivare Harata Parardya Harena Kandaragateena Cha Kaustubena. So, Vidyut Kshipan Makara Kundala Mandanarha. So, the Lord's cheeks enhance the beauty of his alligator-shaped ear pendants. Makara Kundala. Kundala is the earrings. And the Lord's Kundala are in Makara shape, an alligator shape. So, Makara Kundala, Vidyut Kshipan Makara Kundala Mandanarha Gandastalonna Samukam. The Lord's cheeks were enhance the beauty of his earrings. And these earrings were Vidyut Kshipan. They were more brilliant than the lightning. Vidyut refers to lightning. Vidyut Kshipan, they were more brilliant than the lightning. And then Makara Kundala Mandanarga Gandastalonna Samukam Manimat Kiritam. So the Lord had a prominent nose and his head was covered with a gem-studded crown, Manimat Kiritam. And a charming necklace, Dordanda Shanda Vivare Harata Parardya Harena. A charming necklace hung between his stout arms, and his neck was adorned with the Kaustuba jewel. Kandara Gatena cha Kaustubena. So, Vidyutiti Harata Manoharena. So, in this verse, the Harata qualifying the Lord's necklace. means enchanting. So the verse further describes the Lord's ornaments and bodily features. So the Lord's cheeks are so beautiful that they appear to decorate his earrings. In the Damodar Ashtakam also similar explanation comes. Vidyut Kshipan Makara Kundala Mandana means ornament. Mandanargha Gandastalona. The cheeks were actually decorating his ornaments. That's like Parampadam Bhushana Bhushanangam. Yanmartya Lilo Payukam Swayoga Mayabalam Darshayita Grihitam Vispapanam Swasya Saubagarde Parampadam Bhushana Bhushanangam. Krishna's body is an ornament for his ornaments. Krishna's body increases the beauty of the ornaments. The similar thing comes here. The Lord's cheeks were so beautiful that they appear to decorate his earrings. And these earrings were more dazzling than the lightning. And the Lord was wearing a precious necklace that appeared to steal the hearts of the Kumaras. Harata Parargya Arena. And then further, next verse we'll see in the longer discussion. Next class we'll discuss. So today we discussed the first verse we discussed how the Lord was, when he came there, he was bestowing his glance upon everyone present there. And then by the presence of Lakshmi Devi on his chest, he was increasing the beauty of the Vaikuntha. It appeared as though that he was radiating his well-being throughout his own abode, which is the crest jewel of all the heavens. In the next shloka, we discussed the beauty of the Lord, how there is on the top of his hips, the Pitambara was there, on top of that girdle was there, on top of that Vanamala was there, on top of that the bees were there. So bees were in great jubilation, thinking that the Lord has made us, awarded a supremacy over the Vanamala. And then further, how the Lord's Makara Kundala earrings were beautified with the presence by his cheeks. The earrings were more brilliant than the lightning. And the Lord was wearing a gem-studded crown, and he was also having a nice necklace, which was hung between his two stout arms, and his neck was adorned with a Kaustuba gem. Hare Krishna. Kritsnasya appropriate shloka. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadaraya aham kritsnasya jagata prabhava pralayastata. So I am for the entire jagata, I am the cause of creation and destruction. Kritsnasya jagata. Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody has any comments or any other questions?
So, Prabhuji, there was one more thing, no, about these bees, that someone stopped singing because of the buzzing of the bees. Is there something like that? Or
That comes in the same third canto, 15th chapter. The different birds in Vaikuntha planets, they stopped their own singing when they heard the buzzing of the bees. They felt that, oh, these bees are so fortunate, they are close to the Supreme Lord. These bees are, it appeared to them that the bees are glorifying the Supreme Lord. And therefore, these birds were known for their even much sweet singing. But they stopped their own singing in order to hear the glorification of the Lord by these bees. Mandara Kunda Kurabodh Parachampa Karana. No, not this shloka. Paravatara Datyuha Hamsa Shuka Tittiri Barhinamya. पारावतान्या वृतसा रसचक्रवाक दात्यूह हंस शुकतित्तिरि बर्हिणाम्य कोलाहलो विरमते चिरमात्रमुच्चैर् गन्धेर्पिते हरिकथाम् इव गायमाने. So generally in the material world, everyone wants to speak. Less people want to hear. Most people, they want to speak and they want to others to hear their speech. Because to hear, you need humility actually. Amanitvam, the first quality of developing knowledge. Because to develop knowledge, you have to hear from others, and for that, you need humility. But the Vaikuntha planets, these birds which are known for their excellent singing, but they stopped their own singing in order to hear the glorification of the Lord sung by those bees. Bees are not known for good singing. And it only appeared that the bees were glorifying the Lord. Even for that, they gave so much of respect. Then how much more respect they would have given if there was actually glorification of the Lord. Harikatam iva gayaman. It appeared that the bees were glorifying the Lord. Then even for that, they gave so much of respect. Then what to speak of if there was actual glorification? How much more they would have given respect? Hare Krishna.
And also, Prabhu, I just remembered regarding the bees that they were allowed to, they were not allowed to enter everywhere where the Krishna goes. In the 10th canto, we find this that the bees were allowed entry. Uh, Means they were never stopped. So just I remembered this.
To different places, depending on the devotees, different devotees are allowed in different places of pastimes.
I didn't understand what Prabhuji said. I didn't understand.
He's saying some certain pastimes of Krishna Leela, the bees are not allowed entry. He heard from somewhere he's saying.
Prabhu, I said that bees are allowed entry everywhere, even the most confidential pastimes also.
Acha, acha, okay.
That I like that. They were not stopped.
Pranamali Prabhu, yeah.
Hare Krishna. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada translates Makar as shark. And in Gujarati Bhagavad Gita, they are written as alligator, Makar. 10.31.
Yeah, alligator. Shark is same as alligator, no? Different.
Different, Prabhuji. Alligator is more like a crocodile.
Acha.
And shark is a fish.
Sometimes a certain Makara Kundala we can remember. Yes. In translations, one is that see the English words, certain words, meaning of those words, certain words, the certain meaning were present, say 100 years back, 200 years back. The meaning might have changed over a period of time also. So some of the Prabhupads might have used certain words. So at that time, maybe that meaning was there. Later, the meaning changed. Because that is the nature of English language. Certain words, suppose certain ordinary, apparently very ordinary words. But those words in the current context, it has a certain, especially in cosmopolitan states, cosmopolitan cities, it has a vulgar context. So sometimes, so that we cannot say Prabhupada is wrong or something. Prabhupada may be meaning Makara, but Translated as alligator. Shark. No more questions. We'll end here.
Somebody else was also translating his books, no? It's what Prabhupada said, then somebody else must be also translating. Not necessary. Prabhupada must be right.
Prabhupada's dictation, others were
Yeah.
transcribing.
Yeah. So they are foreigners, so they must have.
Okay. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much for your attention. Next week we'll continue. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।